issues that I thought I should bring forward. And of course, first I want to thank everyone for their vote of support. I was running unopposed, but I was just very pleased, and everyone showed me, wow, if all those people continue to support you and turn up for the general, your chances ought to be pretty good, but certainly don't want to get overconfident. I'm looking forward to the forum that we'll be having on September 18th. Thank you for the Herald and everyone that's putting that forward. The format looks excellent. The issues that I do want to just speak real briefly about, I attended the meeting that they had where the Fish and Wildlife was taking input for the releasing of the wolf. And one thing that I brought forward was back in 1994 when I was on the commission before, we passed an ordinance that makes it against the law for any person to release a wolf. So I made sure that they were aware of that ordinance. And the other thing I want to say is the Mexican Department of State Game and Fish does not support the releasing of the wolf. And so when we see Susana Martinez or you talk to her, tell her she needs to. And Mr. Pierce, our New Mexico State Game and Fish needs to stand strong. And they're standing strong because they know it's a detriment to the game that's here, to the industry. And of course, the county needs to stand strong because the livestock industry has always been a vital part of this community. The other issue that's coming forth that I've been working with Bob Williams on, and a lot of you probably know, he ran an ad in the newspaper, but that's the travel management plan that the Forest Service is trying to bring forward. That will close so many roads that it's unbelievable. It will have a huge impact on people that want to go hunt, people that want to use the Forest Service, the guiding industry. So those two issues are big. And we've got to make sure that the federal government respects the custom, the culture, and the economy of this county. So that's my statement.
Just has to have someone who will step up and take the leadership role in putting it together. And this county is operating well above its fighting weight here because you all are putting together. So thanks again for all of that. Appreciate the opportunity to come here and speak. As you all saw, we came home about the 1st of August. I can't remember exactly how many days ago that is. We've worked every single day since then. This is that vacation that they talk about in the national media. We made 2,000 to 3,000 miles. We've done probably 100 interviews and have just been meeting with people like we have throughout the day here in this area, but we've been doing that all across the district. So we're happy to be here. Now, a couple of stunning things. I know that our side always wants to be discouraged, and there's always a lot of money on the other side, and they're well organized, and they're whatever, and so our side always wants to be scared. The thing the other side is missing are ideas. This nation operates on ideas, and so people say, well, Washington doesn't work very well. Actually, Washington works very well when Americans get together on the ideas. Good example recently came. Most of the time, Republicans are angry and they want this to go on. Democrats are angry and they want that to go on. And so always Washington is pulling across purposes by the people. That's the way it's supposed to be. So the media makes a lot of money saying how non-functional Washington is, and believe me, Washington does a lot of stupid things, and I can count them, and I try to vote no on every single one. Don't know that I always catch them, but Washington does many stupid things. But it functions the way, in many cases, that the people want. When the people get angry together, Democrats, Republicans, and Independents, it's amazing how fast Washington works. So if you're going to pick the issue, not just in the way to get to work, you might have better. Immigration.
Obamacare. Yeah, veterans.
Anybody about where veterans were treated?
Yeah.
That's where Democrats, Republicans, and Independents were aiming in the same direction. Same way. Immigration, some want to go this way, some want to go that way. And that's in the process of clearing out, too. The polls have shown that about 50% of the nation favored Obama's immigration. There's amnesty ideas, and about 50% opposed it. So not much is going to go.
Because the team is pulling different trends. And the polls have begun to steady tremendously there. So that was all the way up to about 2 months ago, and then suddenly Obama fell to minus 60% approval on his immigration position. That's a huge position, minus 60%. About a week or 10 days later, it became minus 68%. And about 2 days after that, it's minus 74. And that was all about 4 days ago. So the nation is now seeing that what they thought was hypothetical, that somebody wanted to create amnesty for people that didn't have a face, 30 million people, 11 million people hardly mattered. It was just something far removed. But when the president began to tell states that I'm going to send these people coming right now to your state, Democrat state governors said no. Democratic communities said no. And then people began to deal with the prospect that we're going to have to come up with the money to put them in your schools. And the federal government has nothing set aside right now. And so now then, people who before, Massachusetts representative came up to me just before we left, and I was on the working group and said, you got to put money in that area we're voting on for education history. Well, that should be requested by the president. He should tell people he wants to take more money to go back. So now then people are becoming alarmed at the numbers of people coming, and so even on the issue of immigration, you're going to see Americans come together, and Washington will do something fairly quick. But what did they do on this idea of the veterans? Everybody was angry starting in April when they saw the shadow list and they saw veterans dying on these shadow lists that didn't even exist. They were keeping them off the list so they wouldn't show up and be a bad measure. By the way, the same lady who was doing the shadow list in Arizona did those, and I think it was in Washington State or Oregon where she was there. And she was creating shadow lists on suicide. She didn't want it to reflect badly on her, so she was made lists that were somewhere out here and understated the number of veterans committing suicide. So the VA did what all government agencies do. They took a person performing very badly and moved her to a different location and let her do the same job, in which she accelerated her actions, and the nation got angry. So that was in April, and so you count the months, May, June, July, 3 months. You know how we dangle around on every other issue. You never can get to it. By the end of the second month, both the House and the Senate had passed bills, different bills, and so they began to negotiate through July. And we were coming home on the 1st of August, remember, so everything's got to be done for the 1st of August or it kind of goes to sleep. And at some point, Bernie Sanders, the guy on the Democrat side in the Senate, was negotiating with my friend Jeff Miller. Jeff I brought to New Mexico last year to let him see the long distances that we had to drive to get to VA health care here. He turned south at Klein's Corners, 285, and could see the road. He said, my God, how far does that road go? I said, you're going to stop 2.5 hours short of the end of New Mexico, so don't worry how far the road goes. We're just going to go about 2.5 hours, and I want you to see the distances. He said, okay, I understand. So he's the head guy in the House of Representatives on Veterans Affairs, and he was negotiating against Bernie Sanders. And Bernie, the avowed socialist, said, I am not going along with any of your reforms. All I want to do is spend $57 billion. If we spend more money on the VA, it's going to get better. Well, the problem with that is that in the last 10 years, since I got to Congress, we have doubled the funding for VA, doubled it. Are you seeing double the care here? You're not. You're not seeing 1 ounce more care here, and we have doubled the funding. And so our Jeff Miller said, no, we're not going to do the doubling funding. We're not going to give them to $57 billion. We need reforms in the system. Mr. Sanders at one point said negotiations are dead. Now we're about 4 days from coming home. Mr. Sanders said the negotiations are dead. We are not going to agree. I think Democrats must have called him within the next 24 hours because he agreed to everything he said he would not. Now keep in mind the 2 major things he agreed to. He agreed that if you misuse your position in the VA, if you don't do your job, you can be fired. I know that sounds common sense to you and me. But in Washington, nothing is common sense, and you cannot fire anybody in any agency except the VA, because we put it in the bill, and he agreed, because Democrats were more angry than Republicans. They were furious that the bureaucracy would act the way it did toward the veterans, and so he agreed to that. And the second thing he agreed to was a bill of mine I've had in 8 years saying that you should get to see your local doctor if you have to drive more than a certain distance. I said 100 miles. I see the distances out here. Mr. Miller, who had visited the state last year, said, we don't have many ideas nationwide. We're going to reach over and take your bill, I'm going to put it in my bill, and I'm going to make it my idea, and I'm going to take the credit. I'm not really big on credit, so I don't care. I said, fine. He also made it 40 miles instead of 100 miles, so the two reforms that Bernie Sanders said he would not agree to were firing people who don't do their job and seeing your local doctors. They do not want the bureaucracy to get smaller. They don't want private care ever to get any public money, and yet he agreed to it because Americans were angry, and Washington worked very well when Democrats were angry about the same thing Republicans were, and they wanted the same outcomes. So you have to wonder why Mr. Obama signed such a bill. He signed that a week ago Thursday. He signed the bill that said unions were going to do something you're screaming at me not to do. They have fought that fight viciously. I've seen about 10 of those fights in my 10 years in Congress, and never have we won one. And yet the president signed it, and the Senate went along with it because Democrats and Republicans were angry. So my friends, many times when we're worried about what's going on in the country, I say the most powerful thing you can do here is to talk to your friends on the other side of the aisle, because when they see from your eyes the things that you see, and you're almost always right on the issues. You're almost always right on the issues. But we as Republicans, typically, we do very centrist things. We do things that make sense. When we talk radical, the other side does radical things, but they talk common sense. And so we have a polarity reversed. We need to talk common sense about the common sense things that we're about to do, instead of talking mean and mean-spirited. And because the American public, they don't want to see mean. They want to hear firm, unyielding integrity. They want to see powerful values in action, but they don't want to hear the kind of lingo that we typically do. So the president signed a bill that had deep reforms, the biggest reforms ever in the VA, because Republicans and Democrats were talking together out here. We are working on many issues that we should be talking to our friends, because we should be concentrating not on what divides us, but what pulls us together, what we agree on. So Beto O'Rourke and I are this far apart on immigration. I mean, a long way. I can't speak out there, so it's a long way. But we have found two pieces that we agree on. And we have now those two pieces in law. And the nation is hungry for us to be working together on what we can agree on. So as you talk to your friends here on the other side of the aisle, be talking about the things that we can come together on, because the nation is in desperate need of that. Now, another example of what's going on in Washington, with Washington beginning to work better. And better means that both leadership, Democrat and Republican, is kind of being pushed by the bottom end of the spectrum. Me being on the bottom end, especially after I vote against the speaker a year and a half ago. I'm somewhere in outer darkness down there. And I'm not clamoring to get into the light of that day, because I think I'm doing the right thing. But so Native American housing is not a very sexy issue. Republicans almost never take it on, and I said I'll take on Native American housing because I think that, number one, the trust responsibility says we should do something, but number two, I want to start cleaning up a system that works very badly. I want to be there to put reforms in, and we'll take care of the responsibilities in the same thing. So we get to work with Democrats. This is a year and a half ago. We work. We get up, and the bill that's going to come up just a week before we came home, so about the 27th or 28th of July. It's coming up in committee. And if it finishes in committee, then it'll go to the full floor. So the Democrats were working to me, called them about midnight or sometimes, saying the night before, saying Maxine Waters said she's going to kill your bill. Maxine Waters. I said, why is she going to kill Native American housing? That'll go over well. You don't talk to the Native Americans about that. They said, don't worry, Mr. Pierce, we're not going to vote with her on all of the amendments. She's got 6 or 8 amendments. She's going to bring them. She's going to try to kill her bill. And don't worry, we're not going to vote. That's what the Democrats were telling us. We worked with for a year and a half. We go down the next morning, sure enough, here come the Maxine Waters amendments, and the bill is no plans to debate turns out to be 3 hours. And her team votes with her on every single amendment that they were not going to vote on for me. So now I'm worried because the Speaker said he will not bring bills to the floor of the House that haven't gotten some bipartisan vote. So he likes to have bipartisan, and I know mine is going to be one of those. He's not going to give me much latitude. So I'm thinking Maxine Waters is sure not going to kill my bill because all these guys that were very powerful the night before, they're going to stand around, they're going to vote against Maxine and vote with her every single time, and now they're going to vote against my bill, it's going to die. We worked a year and a half on it. Anyway, so the vote then comes for my bill, which is completely untouched by her amendments, and 14 over 25 Democrats voted with me, saying that we're ready to reform the system in the country. We're ready for new ideas. Indians have looked at this bill and said it would be transformational if you can get that through. Transformation. The Indian tribes now are wanting to clean up the systems by which they operate. I'm telling you that there is a breeze blowing in this nation that says we're ready to fix the country. Both parties, Democrat, the Native Americans are almost all 85% Democrat. They don't vote that way. They don't want you to vote for me. But we've been talking to them now for 10 years, and the conversations are beginning to repeat coming from their side. They want to do better. We want to be more self-sufficient. We want to do things that Republicans talk about all the time. Take care of themselves. So that bill will now come and go to the House floor. I think we'll get it passed, and the Senate will have to decide if they want to do Native American housing or tell the Native Americans, we don't want you to transform. We want you to stay. We don't want things to get better on the Indian reservations. And so that's what America's hungry for, this idea that some Democrats and some Republicans can find common ground to work on. Anyway, I need to get this thing wrapped up. We can talk to Daylight, and we've only got the capability, but I see Kathy looking at the right chair. So really neat things have happened on the trip. So you see Kathy's arm in a sling about 2 weeks ago, just after I got home, almost the second birthday, I was in Vegas, New Mexico. Senior Citizen Center, and this young 25-year Hispanic girl came up, and I mean, with all of the stuff about immigration going on, you always think, what's going to be said here? Said Steve Pierce, who said, I know you're over, I'm here to talk to you, but I don't get you over. So she got her arm in a sling like this, left arm in a sling, and she said, you see this? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I have cancer in my arm. She said, in the bone, 25 years old. This bone from here to here. He said, we had a prosthetic bone found in Italy that exactly matched what mine was, and we needed that bone. And the state would not let that bone come in. She said it came down to a matter of life or death for me. I called your office. Your office responded immediately. The State Department allowed that bone to come in, and she said, I'm here with a cancer-free bone prosthetic here to give, and I'm here to say thank you. Outside the Senior Citizen Center, I said, a young lady, would you go in and speak? She said, I'm not a speaker. I said, you don't have to speak. All you got to do is tell that story. Went in, and there was all the veterans, all of the seniors, myself, we're all, just sitting here. Because those are the things that we, I think, are called to do. We're called to make it work easier when people have reasonable requests. And so that's an example. Another huge example, just in Chaparral, on this tour here since we started in August. Back in 2003 or 4, I can't remember, is my first term, the first year, December 29th, more or less, we get a call from Russia. And it says we need help. This couple down in Doñana County, and they said we needed help. And so we began to help. What they had done is they had moved to about 2 Russian boys. And so they were like, they were colored boys, they were a little bitty, about this one, And so they had gone over there to pick them up on the first day of December, and they had a 15-day visa. Russia, give extensions and things like that, and so Russian government wouldn't let them loose. So they ran 15 days, ran out of visa, ran out of money. The wife came home, the husband stayed to push the system, push the Russian system, and so on the 29th, she's sending him money every day. She goes and borrows money from friends and stuff. They were really up against the extensions on your visa. And finally, the Russians telling you to leave at midnight on the 31st of December. And so he called us on the 29th to say we're up against him. And so so my chief of staff got on the phone and spent almost 36 straight hours with the State Department in Russia. And keep in mind the time differences we're going into, they're approaching the 1st of January, the New Year's celebrations and stuff, and always different countries have different things. And so our State Department, to their credit, was staying up and working on this. Anyway, so I burned up another 36 hours, and so the guy now is at the airport. I get a call from the chief of staff saying he's at the airport. It's 10 o'clock at night over there. It's 18 hours difference, whatever it is here. He says, I don't know if we're going to get it done. We're still working. I said, keep up the work to the last second. So at 10 o'clock, New Year's Eve, the Russians finally said, okay, and at about 10:30 in the evening, with an hour and a half left, 30 days, sitting there trying to get the kids. I delivered these two young boys to the airport, and they came home. So every January the 1st since then, we got a voicemail on our voicemail saying there are 2. Click. That's all. It's just there are 3. Click. There are 4. Click. 1 year, 1 call, and then the call stopped. And I wonder if I never got to meet the lady, and I knew what was going on, but never met her. And so at Chaparral earlier this month, I see this lady, and you can see her on the corner of your eye for half a mile. You can tell, you can turn this way and you know that she's moving toward you. And she was heading my way. I'm trying to think now, who could this be? Who could this be? What? And then she pulls away from a distance and said, I need to talk to you. And say, and it clicked. I said, you're the lady with the 2 Russian kids, aren't you? That's me! She said, she's got as far away as that table in the middle. That's me! Yes, okay, that's us! She said, I'm sorry for myself. She hadn't gone too much. She herself on the porta potty of the program. She had lost her database 3.5, 4 years before, and she couldn't find the number that she'd call and visit. So I gave it to her again. That's all I got that message once a year. You just get this stuff, and those are the things, those are the stories. That's the reason I run for this office, because I hear today we met in this building here with the people about the wolf issue. They're up against it. Our agencies have an arrogance toward the American people that is unprecedented. Our founding fathers said that when the people fear the government, you have tyranny. And we're approaching that point because the people are afraid of government. They also said the other half, when the government fears the people have liberty. And we have forgotten that we are here to be bold voices of freedom to government agencies. Because our founding fathers knew they knew that all governments want to get stronger, so they have these checks and the balances in there, and we, the people, are supposed to be one of the big checks. But we have been complacent over the last 50 years, and so agencies have moved into that void, and now they want it to fix itself overnight, and it will not fix overnight. It's going to take you and me. So on the closing of the forest, 3 years ago, I had a demonstration. I called people to rally and march against the government, march against the closing of 95% of the roads in the Gila, because we as people want freedom, we want access to our own lands. And the agency began to back up. And then they began to say, what roads are you going to open? I mean, they literally brought in one of the protest leaders and said, here's a map. Which ones do you want to open? They began to open roads like that. When we, the people, say we're in charge, we're your bosses, it actually works quite well. But that mission is going to do a little bit of sleep, and now we're sliding it around the corner without much intervention. We, the people, must be courageous, or the government will do exactly what our founding fathers said. Our founding fathers came from Europe where the kings had everything. They could tell you everything. We did not want that. We wanted a government of the people, by the people, for the people. And it was time for you and I to grow backbones, and you and I decided. So most of my work in Washington is to stand up for people who are being oppressed by the government. The rancher up in Meade, New Mexico, by Crowdcroft. We've been beside him for 10 years. 2 courts have said the water belongs to the rancher. 2 courts have said that. And yet the Forest Service this year put a fence around it that his cows can't get through. And then we're saying, okay, you do not have to let his cows walk across Forest Service property, but you must. He has the implied right, if you don't want that, he has the implied right to take his water through pipe or ditch to his cows. And And the Forest Service then in response has electrified that fence just in the last week. So know that you and I are facing times when the government thinks they don't answer to you, and we're going to have to stand up. And so my request is to stand nobly and gently and fiercely beside these ranchers, whether it's the wolf or the water. Stand beside the people who lost all of their jobs in the Forest Service because we quit logging. We quit logging, remember, because logging is killing the spotted owl. You remember that? 20 years ago? Just last year, after May, then we come see the spotted owls are moving into the area that had been logged in the sparrows, leaving the Lincoln where they have not logged and moving half a block away. Owls are voting with their feet the same way people are leaving California. The owls are leaving the Lincoln National Forest to go over here where it's been logged because that's the habitat they wanted to be in. And when they saw that, the Forest Service about 2 months, or the Fish and Wildlife Service 2 months later said, "I'm sorry, logging was never the problem. We killed 85% of the timber jobs in America over a lie, and you and I must be calling those lies exactly what they are." So we're in a time where our freedom is gravely at risk, you and I. And we're either going to have the courage or enough grit to get out and fight, or they're going to take our freedoms away. It's just that simple. So know that it's not up to me. I will be beside you in every fight. It's up to every single one of us. I can be a little more visible, but I can't replace you, the people, who caused President Obama and a U.S. Senate that did not want compromises on the VA, that did not want those reforms in the VA, that did it because the people were angry, and we should be telling our story to Democrats. When they get mad about the wolf, when they get mad about the Forest Service, when they get mad about the rights of water being taken from ranchers, when they get mad about the way the government is operating, you and I have the ideas that will move into that anger void. So please be those voices out here. I will continue with your blessings and your votes to do my job. People say, "Well, why do you do it?" Because I'm afraid of the future of the country. I'm afraid for myself because it doesn't exist in any of the nations that got bifurcated liberties. They don't want the freedom that you and I want. Many of the countries in Europe, they don't have a concept of freedom as you and I know it. They don't want self-determination. They want government to come in and bail them out of everything. You and I don't want that. We just want the government to stand back here. Let us mess up our own things and we can then fix it. And as we mess up and fix it, we're going to be stronger. It is now improper to say certain things. The government is shutting down certain discussions. This is a time of peril for our constitutional rights. And you and I are going to determine which way it goes. Be tough enough that the next generation will say, they made it happen. God bless you all. Thank you. Yes, I absolutely think that he's far exceeding his constitutional and legal authorities. He's breaching the laws. At times, they're breaching the Constitution. At other times, the Democrats are becoming alarmed about that. So, your voice is here. You can't do anything about Idaho. You can't do anything about New York. All you can do is your county. So make sure this county has a voice saying no more. No more executive orders that break the Constitution. Yeah. And be aware, you think that your voices are not heard. I've spoken at 2 national conventions, and each one of them say, what is going on in New Mexico? You all are fighting fights out there. The rest of us wish we had the courage to fight. What is going on? They say it's a small thing called liberty. The flame of liberty is flickering. Other states are noticing what's going on. Well, I appreciate that, but we also, we do our jobs out here.
I don't cause with Bethel's Day.
Yeah.
Once Bethel's Day became mature, he can switch to something more. So he's reminded of that.
Okay, Beto is a good young man. He has got a lot of opinions that I don't share. But he's trusting. He has been really good to his word right now, but I will remind him of his father's meetings. Yeah. We just had a top secret. The question was how concerned should we be about terrorists coming across the border? Our border agents tell me that they're spending their time in daycare, so that's one of the reasons that we need to send them Master Guard to relieve them so they can get back out on the border. So I went through the border interagency task forces in El Paso. I just went through a top secret briefing, and they said that the threats are very real because the Border Patrol basically is not there. Terrorists are coming across the border in this flood right now. So, yes, we should be very cognizant of what's going on, and we should be well informed about the threats that it is. So, absolutely. Yes, I'll wander back here. Get out of range, this ability to pick up here, well, I'll go back closer.
Is the Keystone Pipeline ever going to happen?
No, the Keystone Pipeline under President Obama will not happen because he cannot deliver on his major promise to the environmental group. Keep in mind, the major groups on both sides say, we're going to support you, but here's what we want. They wanted that to cap and trade. You remember when that failed in the House, or it passed in the House, and people went viral, man. Both sides again, both sides are angry. The Senate thought they'd never heard of the idea, and Obama has failed to perform. Therefore, he is creating monument areas to try to placate the environmentalists, and he's also never going to approve that pipeline because that is right simple. What they don't want are those tar sands produced. They don't want the tar sands produced, so China's either going to get them produced out of it or you're going to do it. I would prefer that we get that oil, but no, he is not going to approve it.
I'd just like to tell a story about Steve that has to do with Otero County and Cloudcroft that many of you don't know. Over there they were having some trouble with the Forest Service a few years ago, and the Forest Service wouldn't allow the town of Cloudcroft to cut fire breaks. And Steve went up there to cut a fire break, and the Forest Service told him, if you cut that tree down, you're under arrest. And our friend Sheriff Benny House told the Forest Service man, when you try to arrest him, I'm arresting you. Steve's turned up the chainsaw and cuts a tree down.
Not necessarily the smartest man did, but I would guarantee you we'd possibly be willing to call our hand. The U.S. Attorney did call our office Thursday before that Saturday when we all gathered up there and said we're going to arrest everybody who shows up. I said, you better be ready to arrest a U.S. Congressman because I'm going to do the first thing. I don't think it'll make the news if they arrest one of the local county commissioners. I think it's going to make the news if you do it, so come on. I said, I would. Anyway, so a couple of days later, I did not know the U.S. Attorney. A couple of days later, I met him for the first time at an airport in Washington, and he recognized me. I publicized U.S. Attorney, so I should have known him, but I didn't. He said, I'm the U.S. Attorney. He said, I guess your office and mine had some communications. And I said, we did. I'm going to give you my cell phone because we're not through those communications. Are you going to continue to have to make decisions? Are you going to support the Constitution? Or are you going to support an ideology that's taking freedom away from people? So I gave him my cell phone, and he hasn't called me. I don't know if he's continue to do
Army Corps of Engineers is using the Clean Water Act to control roads. And the environmentalists are claiming the same with the Clean Water Act to repair roads. And we can't all count on the roads that are washed out. So what's going on with the new interpretive rules that they started, and are they enforceable? Expanding into navigable waters to all the waters.
Yeah, and are you hearing this? An agency is now redefining a rule of law in order to keep them from accessing their private property, to keep them from doing their work. We recently showed, and by the way, Rob is back here, he's pretty good, he works with Western Caucus, and recently did a video that's about a minute and a half showing the effect of this new interpretation of the Clean Water Act in the waters of the U.S. And so I would urge you to go on the Western Caucus to take a look at that and friend us. He gets paid by the clip, so not really. He's joking, but he's doing good work. But it will continue until we, the people, stand up and say that this man has as much right as the President of the United States. We do not have kings here. We have citizens who become president, but they don't have any more rights. They're bound by the same laws, the same Constitution. But if you and me, we don't stand up, they're going to continue to erode his ability to do his work on his land. The people who are in charge of some of these agencies, the people in some of these environmental groups hate you. They hate the fact that you make a living out on things they consider public, that is air and water. I mean, you know, like we all don't breathe it and use it. Forest lands, they don't want you to make a living on the forest lands. They don't want any trees cut because you might make a profit off those trees. Forget the fact that we're burning down free of charge. And so, just know that that's the fight. And they're going to continue to expand that authority and find new laws and new rules without ceasing until we say no more. It's that simple. They're going to continue to expand until we, the people, say no more. So I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but that's what the state of this U.S. government is in right now. And it was drifting that way under President Bush. And it was drifting that way under President Clinton. It's been drifting that way for 50 years. It is time for us to tell both parties no. N-O. Is that how you spell no?
Yeah.
Okay. Tom Osborne was the he was the head coach of Nebraska. And he came to Congress, and so he was the one that told me, he said that N on the side of the helmet, we wouldn't let guys start until they could tell us what that N on the side of the Nebraska helmet stood for. And he said, most of them couldn't get it. It stands for knowledge, man.
She did help because she was sick, and she would actually help me.
Yeah, with Stivers back there, Kenny, the three Stivers, Bridget, Kenny, and Ron stand up because we do my girls and work. I only interview one question. Generally, I ask one question. I might ask what the name is, but my question is, what is the reputation we have as an office? And if they can't answer that we work very hard on behalf of the people of New Mexico. We don't ask questions. We just go out and we plow around every day finding the good things we can do, like the young girl, like your friend, like another who just came up here, like this young lady here, like this one. And people say about our staff, you have such a decent staff. Now, the words decency and Washington don't fit together in the same sentence ever. And yet people say that about us because we hire people who want to work. They care about people. The politics is very seldom a big part of our office. I'd never have been to a Republican Party before running for office. I'm not political. I'm here to change the way America works because I'm worried about our freedom. But we also have people that are working daily, hard on behalf of you. Another round of applause for them. Yeah, very, very good. Again, another testimony of very good staff.
You speak of the Constitution and defending that. The scariest thing now, I think, is the Constitution-free zones which surround the United States on the border, and they come up even to almost where we're at now, and then they have they pass the NDCC, whatever it is, indefinite detainment, not being charged. I mean, that's what people are scared to stand up now because of those things, right? I mean, how do we stop that?
We've investigated it, and a lot of times those internment camps and things, those are things on the internet that don't actually exist, but everything else exists. That whole monument designation, literally people can come from our southern border, southern Oneida County, and go all the way to Sierra County without getting on anything but monument. And Border Patrol cannot go into monuments. The reason I fought that so hard, one reason is because of that. And so now you have the sheriff in Oneida County saying that the cartels are going to have basically a free zone to operate in. They're already doing that. Take a look on the webpage and look at the Oregon Pipe National Monument in Arizona. Same thing. That's where those big signs tell you 440,000 acres. You're not allowed to go in here. If you're an American citizen, it's too dangerous for you to go in here. So now we've created that in southern Oneida County. And we did it by executive order because they could never get that bill passed. Not even when they have a filibuster-proof Senate could they get this bill through. By the way, they didn't do immigration reform at that same time. They are saying it's the Republicans holding it back, and it's them holding it back. They had a filibuster-proof Senate, Nancy Pelosi in charge of the House. They also had President Obama sitting in the White House, and they did not do immigration reform, or they did not pass that monument. They did that by executive order because they could not overcome the will of the people in that area down there.
One more. We're going to take one more. I'm going to come all the way. I'm going to go all the way. I'll get with you personally. Okay. One more question, and then she's about to give me the. I got the
Representative, we live in Clark County. We don't have any jobs here. We got a top of the line who wants to start up. You know, I'm the Las Cruces is dragging the feet on that. There's something that can be done.
We've been working on that issue. Again, Kenny is right over here. He's the one working on that. I toured that copper line personally about 6 months ago. Again, it is our agencies who are standing in the way of prosperity. Our agencies are standing in the way of logging, mining. They're going to try to kill the oil and gas industry. The oil and gas industry is fueling the boom that is going on in this state and in America, and they're trying to kill it. We're going to be self-sufficient with another year or two. We could already be self-sufficient if we were getting the same increase in drilling on public lands we have on private. Last year we increased production on private lands 61%. On public lands, 6%. So the president is taking credit for what's going on when he's actually obstructing it all the way. So know that this is the kind of fight we're in. Okay, so I'm no statement yet. I kind of close to a finish here, Kathy, so I can't just stop. I got to think of how to stop. Now I'm going to start that thought process. I'll talk if I think of something to say, which could be quite a while. It wasn't quite that funny. So we're sitting here alarmed and we're worried, and I don't discount the kind of stuff that we're up against. And it is heavy. You all have been on the front lines of the battle for so long, and you just feel discouraged. I hear it in your voices. I don't hear any joy anymore about being an American. I just hear a lot of concern and anger and frustration. My friends, we are bigger. The ideas are bigger than that, and we're bigger than that. Lift up your heads and look at the challenges in front of us. Too often our fears evaporate in front of us as we approach them. This won't be quite that easy. It's going to be a long affair. It will take us as long to gain our freedoms back and forth as it has taken us to lose. But you are the bridge. This group here in America right now across the nation, we either have enough courage to fight through this or we're going to give up like the European countries did after World War II and slip into socialism. Africa slipped into communism. We are making that decision today in the next weeks and months and years. The other side is just now beginning to listen to us and they're liking what we're saying. Northern New Mexico, it used to be 67% Democrats, today 52% Democrat, because Democrats are alarmed at where the party is taken. Democrats in New Mexico do not want to be socialist, and they don't want to be something further left, progressive, or whatever it is. We're nationwide, 6% between 2010 and 12. 6% of the Democrats bailed out from that, from their party. Mitt Romney should have won by a huge margin. But he never spoke about what his values and his vision for the country were. He talked about how bad that guy was in the White House. He received very bad advice. You and I talk values, we talk the integrity, we talk principle. And when we talk that, the Democrats are hungry for it and listening for the first time in their lives. They're listening. So many of the Democrats are not becoming Republican because it's just too far. But they're becoming independents and they're voting conservative and they're voting for the future of this country. So, heads up, chins up, looking out into the future, because when we win this struggle that we're in right now, America is going to be the place, the destination for 50 more years of immigrants coming here legally to form the hope for their family. It is in those families coming here, and it is in us finding the future of hope for our families that the strength of America has always existed. We are the hope of the world, and we have sort of got our heads down. Lift your heads up and look at the future. We're going to win this thing out. Western Plains.